Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Big Brigade. Hope everybody's having a good Monday evening. Today's been a good day. Much better than Saturday. Even though I got a beautiful sweater accomplished Saturday. But due to an attack by the enemy, also known as the devil, I was in a bad headspace mentally. But lots of prayer and want a dog adoption later, I'm in much better shape. I did do a little crocheting yesterday, but I've been a little busy today. I'm working on, I'm going to show you the crochet first and then I'll talk dog. I'm sure some of y'all seen the short and some of y'all seen my community tab post, but this is the sweater I was working on yesterday. I've got all I've got left is to add some rows here and then seam it together and then do my trim work. So and the sleeves, I got to do the sleeves. So but I got 17 rows already done on here, and I know what I'm doing. I may not look like it half the time, but I do know what I'm doing. And I still do have the Saturday sweater for sale. If anybody's interested, I can get it in the mail this week to you. I have it in a mailer bag in the van because I brought it with me today. Oh. Say hello, Maggie. Hello, Maggie. Hello. Yes, this is Maggie May. But I had seen her on the Caddo Parish Animal Shelter's website, a Facebook page, and I'd seen some pictures of her and her eyes and this little white on her chin, and yeah, she's kind of needy, which is fine because I'm a little needy too, but I seen these pictures and she had these chestnut eyes. Chestnut colored eyes, like Axel's, the black lab that I lost in April, that I had to say goodbye to, my senior black lab. And he was about waist high and about 80 pounds, okay? And in contrast, she's only about 45 pounds and quite a bit smaller. She's maybe half his size. And in the pictures, she looks much bigger. But I guess the pictures are from when they first got her in. And unfortunately, the shelter only feeds their dogs once a day, which makes me very sad. And she's lost weight since being there. Now, they said that she had previously been adopted since they took her, since the older couple that originally had her since a puppy had surrendered her. They had one other person take her home and brought her right back because they had a smaller dog, like a Chihuahua or something, and she did not get along with the Chihuahua. And so they brought her right back. So they wanted to let me know that was, that had happened. And I said, well, I don't have a Chihuahua at home. I said, I have a 70-pound pit bull mix that's almost 9 years old. And I said, so I don't think we're going to have little dog problems. I said, Theo's pretty chill. I think they'll be just fine. And but what happened was her original owner was an elderly couple that had just I guess their health had deteriorated a little bit, and they had gotten to where she was just too much. And I think after spending the afternoon with her and everything, that they were feeding her a lot of table food. That's why she was a bit on the tubby side when she got surrendered. Because she definitely, every time I even looked at food, she was like, she's definitely a card-carrying member of the Beg Brigade. She has begging down to a science. See, I'm even talking food and she's right over here. No. We're not eating right now, little girl. We're not eating right now. We're videoing. Yes, we're videoing. Anyway, but they had taken her to the vet prior to surrendering her, and got her all her vaccinations. They got her spayed, and her nails are nice and trimmed and perfect, and she's in perfect health and everything. And she will give you paw. Like if you're sitting in front of her and she comes up to you and you say, "Paw, give me paw," she'll put her paw in your hand, and she sits if you tell her to sit. And she did have a little pee accident in the house a little while ago, but I think that was probably my fault because I got distracted and wasn't paying attention to her. And she had gone to the door, and I didn't notice that she was going to the door. And so that I'm not going to be upset with her. I'm more upset with myself that I wasn't, that I got distracted. I don't even, with my phone, I think, and didn't take her out when she asked to go out. But that's been her only accident. She's done all her number 2 business outside, and so she's real good like that. So she, right from the jump, she's been real good about the bathroom stuff and going outside. Now I did give her a bath, and that was like bathing a tornado. Even though I did shower this morning, I felt like I needed another one after I gave her a bath. Cause yeah, well, she smelled so bad coming from the shelter. She smelled so bad because they're in kennels, and they're in their own, their own filth in the kennels, and so she smelled pretty bad. And so I went when I got her from them. They gave me a collar, get this, a turquoise collar and leash for her, and I was like, is this not Kismet or what? And so when they brought that turquoise stuff out, I was like, oh my goodness. Turquoise is my favorite color. Red is my second favorite color. So, I was like, oh my goodness. And so me and her went to Walmart, and we got her some bowls, where we got a little dual bowl thing for her dry and her wet food. 'Cause we already have a big old water bowl that Axel and Theo shared, and Theo, just a big old water bowl for both dogs. And so no need for another water bowl. But I did get her a bowl that's a dual, bowl that will put her wet food in one side and her dry food in the other. Because we feed twice a day. Well, they kind of free range with the dry food. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we usually give Theo a can of wet dog food. And then the rest of the day, we just keep the dry dog food in his bowl, and he usually eats about a cup of that a day. So, because he just kind of he's not a dog who immediately goes and empties it as soon as you put it out. He eats it as he wants it. He doesn't, he's not a big eater. So he never really has been. So, and she seems to be about the same, that she's going to just be kind of free range with the dry. She went right for that wet food, though. She didn't eat it as quickly as Theo eats his, because Theo really likes the wet dog food. And, but I get the chicken and rice dog food because it seems to be gentler on the stomach, and it cuts back on the gas. If you've ever smelled a big dog fart, you know what I'm talking about. Ever since I switched Theo to chicken and rice canned dog food, we don't get them stinky farts. Just saying. We don't get them stinky farts. So, just a tip, if your dog has stinky farts and you've been feeding them some canned dog food, switch them to chicken and rice canned dog food. It could probably help. I don't know what they're putting in them other kind of canned dog food, but chicken and rice stuff, it seems to be better, easier on the stomach, less gassy. So yeah, and I feed them Iams mini chunks is what, and after seeing her in person and seeing how tiny her mouth is compared to Theo's mouth, sticking with the mini chunks is the way to go, because she doesn't have her mouth, in her mouth, she has a what they refer to as a soft bite, not like a pit bull bite. Pit bulls, a lot of people don't know this, but pit bulls have extra tendons on the side of their jaws extra set of muscles on the side of their jaws that other dog breeds don't have. And this is what gives them a bite force similar to an alligator. Okay? I've seen this on Animal Planet. I know what I'm talking about. So it gives them a very strong bite force. It so much so that a lot of people have a misconception that they think that pit bulls lock their jaws. Pit bulls do not lock their jaws. They just have a very strong bite force due to those extra tendons on the side of their jaws. Okay? If you're ever in a situation where you encounter a pit bull that is attacking someone, and you feel like you have to act, go grab their hindquarters and lift straight up. Don't touch anything involving their head. Don't throw water at them. Don't turn a hose on them. Just grab their hind legs and lift straight up. This will throw them off balance, and they will disengage, and they will stop. Just to let you know. And then get out of the way. Because once a pit bull turns, it's not good. It's really just not good. Then you have news reports about it. So not all it's a fraction of what really happens involving pit bulls, and it's very unfortunate that it ends up in the news as much as it does, because it's this much of what pit bulls are. Because this is how wonderful pit bulls are versus this much of what negativity, what bad happens involving pit bulls. You see what I'm saying? This is the bad that happens with pit bulls. This is how much of it there is. But this is the mountain out of a molehill that the media makes it out to be. Okay? So, it's all about who's raising that dog, who raised the dog, who's taking care of the dog, and is the dog being properly raised? Is it being properly managed? Is its needs being met? Because they're not a dog that you can ignore. They're not a dog that you can ignore. You have to maintain them. You have to make sure that they're engaged and that they're taken care of. You can't just put them in a kennel and forget about them and barely feed them. You can't do that with a pit bull, because that does things to them that it might not do to another kind of dog. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's where a lot of the bad things happen, is when they're neglected, or when they're mismanaged, or when they're starved. That's when bad things happen. But when they're properly raised, when they're properly loved, when they're properly exercised, they're wonderful family pets. Just saying. So, just because I was looking for a particular kind of dog doesn't mean that I don't still love pit bulls. I do still love pit bulls. I love my Theodore. He is a pit bull mix. I love him so much. And I hate that I had to take that little Leroy back in May, but he was attacking Theodore and causing injury to Theodore. And it was just a no-win situation. And Theodore being a senior dog, I couldn't afford the vet bills that I saw coming if I continued to let that happen. So I regretfully had to take Leroy back to the shelter. Now this little girl has been nothing but sweet all day long. And the only thing that she did was show fear from Theodore when we first got in the door. And that's because as soon as we walked in the door, Theo pounced. And not pounced out of, let me attack her, pounced because, hey, I got a new friend. That's the kind of dog he is. Oh my gosh, a new friend. Oh, I must go visit with her. I must go see her. I must say hi. And she's going, oh my God, he's huge. And so she starts snarling and barking and retreating behind me and, going, oh my God, Mommy, who is that? And yeah, that's the situation we walked into when I got home with Maggie. And so we've been working, but I'm not an idiot when it comes to dogs, and I know how to introduce dogs and deal with things. And I've read up on things and watched a lot of informational type stuff. And so I knew how to deal with it, I knew how to make them smell each other and, you know, figure each other out. And now they're doing much better. And, you know, so they're fine. She's over there laid out on the floor at the moment. She's had a long day. She had a bath that she, you know, she gave me a workout. Let me tell you, you don't think 45 pounds worth of dog can do all that, but trust me, yeah. But she smells better and she looks better. Her coat is so shiny, so shiny. She's so shiny. And, yeah, because shortly after she got her bath, she came in here and she found a skein of yarn. Let me see if I, yeah. She found this skein of yarn, of sock yarn. Sorry, Serena. It was a gift from Serena, but it's fine. The yarn is fine. It's not hurt. But it was sitting on top of this little box here, and she come around this corner of this table and she had this in her mouth, and I was like, she wasn't doing anything with it. She was just holding it, and because she has a soft bite, so she doesn't have a real strong mouth, and so she was just barely holding it, and I was like, so I gently took it from her, and then I was looking for something to redirect her, because I didn't want to just get angry with her, because it was there, it's not really her fault, but I was like, okay, quickly, what do we get to redirect her? Let's redirect her to something that it's okay to hold in the mouth, Well, unfortunately, I threw something out last night that she could have done whatever she wanted to with. Said Christmas teddy bear that I got from said person that doesn't deserve to be named anymore. So I kind of went scorched earth and threw that in the trash can last night. And so I had to quickly come up with something else for my new baby to love on. So I looked behind me and to see. I knew I had something back there that I bought that wasn't sent to me as a gift. And so I found this little fox, this little stuffed animal fox, not handmade, nothing, because a lot of my little loveys back here in this corner on top of this organizer here, a lot of those are handmade that were sent to me by subscriber family members. And there was one little stuffed red fox that I got from Michael's that I bought for myself that I only spent like $5 on. And I said, well, so I gave that to my new dog. And the killer part is she had no desire to rip it apart or tear it up. She just wanted to carry it around and nub on it, if that makes any sense. She just, when they just kind of like that, just nub on something, not quite chewing, but just kind of nub on it a little, and that's all she does with it. She just carries it around. We played fetch a little bit with it when she figured out that when I threw it and she went and picked it up, that she was supposed to bring it back to me and then give it to me so that I could throw it again and she could, it took her a minute to figure out fetch, but she figured it out pretty quickly and she kind of liked it. So we played a little fetch, and but mainly she just wanted to love on the little fox and hold it with her mouth and to give it little nubs. And she wasn't trying to rip its eyes out or anything like that. It's still intact. It's over there laying by her head now. She's over there laying down on the floor, sacked out. She ought to be. She's ended up in my lap about three or four different times. And I need a bigger chair. I need a bigger chair because I didn't mind her being in my lap, but she takes up my lap and then some, because she's not 80 pounds like Axel, but she is 45 pounds, and she's a decent sized little dog, but the thing is she is full grown, so she is a year, and so she's full grown. She might widen out a little bit because she is spayed and everything. But they think that she was probably Black Lab and Border Collie. And I think so. I think that's what she probably is. I think she's got a lot of Border Collie in her because she's whip smart. She's just really, really smart. And Black Labs are typically very smart too. So she's got a good combination of very smart. You know, she's just seems to be whip smart. She learns things just like that, just really fast. I mean, she just picks things up really quick. And I'm kind of impressed by her, you know, that she just picked things up so quickly about things. And but I am gonna take some advice that I didn't take when it came to Leroy that I wish I had taken. I am gonna go Monday when YouTube pays us. I'm gonna go get her a kennel for when we have to leave the house and leave them here. When me and Johnny leave to go, we have to leave them here without us. When they have to be home alone. Her and Theodore. Theodore doesn't need a kennel. He doesn't get into anything. He's a very good dog. But I don't, until we build trust with her, I'm going to get her a kennel so that I don't have to worry about her. I won't have to worry about her getting into anything and tearing anything up. I don't have to worry about her getting hurt, you know, or anything like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and get a kennel for her and kennel train her. I think maybe she might have been kennel trained already. I get a sense about her like that maybe she might already be okay with that. And for her safety and for the safety of everything in the house, is what I'm going to do. This will be less stressful for me when I leave the house if she's in a kennel. And but I did bathe her for the purpose of, well, I didn't want to have her stinking, and for the purpose I wanted her to be able to sleep with me. So I think we will sleep just fine together. Because she really likes to snuggle. So and I didn't, when I went to get her, I didn't take Johnny with me. Because I wanted her to bond with me and not him, because Johnny has a natural innate connection with animals and they tend to gravitate toward him, and I wanted her to gravitate toward me. And I didn't, you know, she's my Christmas present to myself. And I just really, you know, I had that bond with Axel. Axel was primarily my dog, and he stayed with me all the time. He would go visit with Johnny in his room, but at nighttime it was always Mama he stayed with, and I really miss that, and so I wanted one that was just mine, just my dog, and so that I think I got that. So, but yeah, I think this one's gonna work out. I really do, and not because she's not a pit bull, but I don't know. The circumstances are different this time. We've had more time to grieve Axel, and we weren't desperate for a dog. Like, I felt like we were just a little too desperate when we picked Leroy. We didn't take our time, and I felt different about it this time, and I felt Axel's spirit a little bit when I was looking on on Cattle Parish's Animal Shelter's Facebook page, and when I saw those eyes and that little white on her chin, I was like, Axel, are you here? You know, and it just, you know, when you've had an animal that was that close to you and lost them, you know, you just sometimes, when you go to save another one and they look so much like that one, you just feel like they're there with you, you know. And I feel like he was with me today. And he sent me that little girl. And she's laying in his spot. And I can't help thinking that he's whispered to her, please take care of my family. But anyway, I wanted to come visit with y'all. I'm going to put some clips. I have some little clips of her and some pictures of her, of course. I took a bajillion pictures of her since I got her. Some I shared on the community page, and saying, of course, I did that little short with me and her on my lap. But I'll throw some clips, a couple of clips and some pictures at the end of this video. And oh my goodness, she has the softest little snore. Just barely a snore at all. I just love it. She's so sweet. But anyway, I'll let y'all go. I just wanted to come and visit with y'all and let y'all know how much I was doing better, and that I really appreciate y'all's prayers, and very much so. And today is a better day, of course, and hopefully I'll have something going tomorrow. I don't know, crochet wise, I don't really have anywhere to be tomorrow, but I do have that sweater available, the blue wintry sweater that I made Saturday. So email me. My email will be in the description box. You know, who knows, you might can get a deal on it at this time. It's just in time for Christmas. I might cut somebody a deal if they want it, you know, just email me. Because it is Christmas after all. So, but I love y'all, and so does Jesus. And please remember to adopt, don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting on you at the shelter or the rescue, just like me. So, bye for now.